Hello friends, I welcome you all to this video. We are again with our fourth chapter titled as Power Spectrum Estimation to learn our subject Advanced Digital Signal Processing. So as we have all the estimation methods to get the information regarding the power spectral density associated to a discrete time random process, we have this particular chapter. The various methods as like the periodogram, modified periodogram, the Bartlett's method, Welch's method, the Blackman-Tukey approach, and then the minimum variance spectrum estimation method we are already covered with, along with the practice of selected problems and also the demonstration of these methods concerning the discrete time random process into the MATLAB environment. So as just now we are covered with the maximum entropy method into the previous video, let us have the demonstration of the same method using the MATLAB environment. Hence the topic name here we have MATLAB program maximum entropy method here. So let us begin with the topic. So here we can start with our topic, the topic titled MATLAB program maximum entropy method. So as like the previous cases we have seen, whereupon the periodogram method, modified periodogram method, Bartlett's method, Welch's method, Blackman-Tukey approach, and the minimum variance spectrum estimation techniques have been demonstrated. In the similar fashion, we take here the simplest aim, that is to estimate the power spectral density of a discrete time random process by using the maximum entropy method that just now we are covered with. So this is our current topic, MATLAB program maximum entropy method. So for this purpose, we need to switch to our MATLAB environment. Here we have the MATLAB environment provided by the MATLAB R 2019B version here. So we have here the current folder ADSP where the previous functions, the MATLAB scripts have been saved upon. Along with the workspace, the command window, we can have the new untitled script into the editor window here. Whereupon, first of all, we shall have the development of a function that will carry out the maximum entropy spectrum estimation technique to be processed for a discrete time a random sequence. So for that purpose, I start writing up this particular MATLAB script of the function. Hence the first keyword, it is nothing but the function. After the keyword function, there it should be the variable which is holding the output after carrying out this particular function procedure. So it is nothing but the estimate of the power spectral density by opting the maximum entropy method. And as usual, the power spectrum density here we are denoting by capital P small x. Now the name of the function is to be there after the equal to sign. Hence let us denote it by max underscore entropy, to which within the parenthesis the input arguments are to be denoted. So of course, for carrying out the maximum entropy method demonstration, we require the input discrete time random process denoted by x in general, and we also require the another input parameter that it is small p. So here small p is denoting us the order of the all pole model that we have seen in the understanding of the maximum entropy method in the previous video. So the all pole model formulation, the transfer functions we have dealt with thereupon. Now this function statement is to be followed by the end keyword, and in between these two keywords function and end we have to develop the MATLAB script for maximum entropy method. First of all, we get it saved to the current folder, the same name max underscore entropy dot m, it will be the file extension. Now here, as we have already clarified that the two input arguments, the x and p, here we are going to use. So for maximum entropy method, here we carry out the all pole model determination by the use of autocorrelation method. So for autocorrelation method, let us say the outputs are in terms of the two parameters denoted a comma e. whereas the inputs are the same, x comma p here. So for obtaining a comma e from the x comma p, where e is nothing but the error that we shall definitely discuss, and a is also required thereupon in this maximum entropy method. So we take the help of the autocorrelation method for all pole model, and we name this particular function by the name ACM simply. So here ACM is not the inbuilt function that we have to develop separately into the current folder. So we first of all just save the changes here, and to have the obtaining of A and E from this ACM, we take the another untitled script, whereupon we start writing a function. Here the output, let us say a comma e here we have, or instead, as e is nothing but the error, we can write e double r, and here we have the function name ACM or the autocorrelation method here for determination of the all pole model, and the same input arguments are x comma p followed by the end statement at the last. So let us save it as well with the name acm.m. It has been saved to the current directory as well as onto the editor window tab. The name has been appeared here. Now here for determination of the all pole model using the autocorrelation method. Now we have the input of the discrete time random sequence denoted by x. So it is to be modeled as the unit sample responses of the filter. That filter we have discussed already. The system function is also denoted thereupon, whereupon the coefficients of the function denotation that we have in general capital A of z are in terms of the vector small a that we require to be one of the output argument. Here it is small a. Now for that purpose we accept the input x is equal to x within the parenthesis colon to get all the product samples assigned to the same here. Next to that, we take the another variable capital N to hold the information of the highest number of data samples accommodated in the X, that it is the discrete time random process. Hence, it is to be assigned by the function length, and here the input is small x. So N is giving us the maximum number of data samples that we have here. Now here we take the use of if statement here, and here we specify the condition whether the p that we are accepting here, that is the order of the all pole model, if it is greater than or equal to the length of x that we have already denoted by capital N as well. So that time it should provide us the error message here, and the error message within the parenthesis and a pair of single quotes we write, here we have the model error because the order is too large, or very large here. So order that is to be accepted by this particular function should not be greater than the entire length of the discrete time random process x of n in general here. Now once this message is to be displayed like this, next to that this if condition for the p greater than or equal to the length of x is to be closed here upon. Now afterwards we require the convolution matrix with the help of the x, that is the discrete time random process, and small p as discussed before. So for that purpose we expect the output in the form of convolution matrix denoted by capital X, which can be obtained by having a definition of the function as like the previous cases we have done thereupon, that convm here, where the input is accepted x comma, here the order p plus 1 can be the input here, the semicolon, to end this particular MATLAB syntax. So here we save this much of script, and now it's time to have generation of this convolution matrix function, that is CONVM. So for that purpose we take the untitled script, and hereupon we start writing this particular function, which gives us the output variable capital X in the form of a convolution matrix. Here the name of the function CONVM, whereas we have the inputs x comma p in general. So p plus 1 we have been providing here, so that can be accommodated here. So this will be of course of the order of the capital N plus p minus 1. So it will be compensated, it will be simply n plus p to the parent function here by the p minus 1 here. So in this particular function, as we end here, we start by defining another capital N that can be computed as the length of x in addition to 2 multiplied by p minus 2 here. By the next line, we have x accepted as all the number of data samples. So within the parenthesis we have colon. Then we have the x pad, that is equal to the array that we can have. First of all, these zeros here we have having the dimensions p minus 1 comma 1. By the next row we have x as it is, and lastly we have a row of zeros where we have p minus 1 comma 1 here. So we end this line with the help of semicolon, and then we carry out the use of for looping for the variable holding 1 up to the iterations of capital small p here. So this is to get the output of capital X, the convolution matrix, having first of all the dimensions comma I for which the iterations are to be made here. So it can be computed by having xpad, that is having the input of p minus I plus 1. It is up to we have capital N minus I added to 1 here. So now we have to end this for loop. So we save it to the same folder with the name CONVM here, the convolution matrix, which is giving us the capital X into the ACM function here. Now after obtaining such the convolution matrix capital X here, now we shall have the computation of capital X Q here in small casing here. So this is with respect to the transfer function as we have in terms of the poles and zeros initially. So it can be simply x within the parenthesis we have 1 colon capital N plus p minus 1 comma 1 is to p here. So we end this, and we can obtain small a, the another output argument here, that is of the array type, where we have 1 semicolon we have minus of x q that has been operative with the x here. Within the parenthesis we have 2 colon capital N plus p comma 1. So this is also to be ended with the help of semicolon. And the another output argument that we have talked about is the error ERR. So it is nothing but the absolute value of we have capital X, within the parenthesis we have 1 with the capital N plus p value up to which comma 1, and next upon it has been operated by the multiplication with the capital X and that of small a, and here we end this particular function. So here the ACM function has been completed here, that can be used for this method called as the maximum entropy method. So we get back to which, whereupon after this particular step we can have the computation of the estimate of power spectral density that can be denoted capital P small x. So in terms of decibels, as we expect, so it is 10 in multiplication to log to the base 10 operative over small e divided by, here we have the length of the discrete time random process x, minus we have 20 in multiplication to, here we have log to the base 10 over the absolute value of the Fourier transformation representation by the syntax FFT or small a comma 1024 points here. So we end this and the function is also ended here. So we save this particular script. So maximum entropy, here it is making the use of ACM function by the all pull model for the autocorrelation method here, which is also in turn using the convolution matrix function that has also been developed here. Now this maximum entropy function is to be called upon to process for the spectrum estimation of a discrete time random process. So we take another untitled script whereupon the execution can be shown up here. So for the purpose of execution, we first of all begin with close all, next to that clear CLC, and here the first module, here we take generation of DIS discrete time random process. Here we are opting the two ways for generation of the discrete time random process, that x assigned the variable values in random sense here, that it is, for example, let us start with 3.2, next to that -2, next to that we can have 4.5 minus 6.7, the four values we have given, 5.6, then 2.3, six values have got completed. Next to that we have 3.4, then 9, then we have -6, then we can have minus 1.8 here. So 10 values, for example, are enough here to show a discrete time random process. And let us check whether upon saving this particular script with the name execute underscore, as the method name is maximum entropy, I mentioned here max underscore entropy here. So .m is the file extension, and upon executing this file in the workspace, we initially want these variables get cleared and a new variable small x is to be generated here. So yes, here it is. It holds the samples, 10 samples, 3.2, -2, 4.5, -6.7, 5.6, 2.3, 3.4, 9, -6, and -1.8 here. We can also visualize it graphically. Stem x can be the function, saving the changes, and here we expect a window. So here we have the output that has been plotted onto the horizontal axis. We can see 1 to 10 the samples here, and the amplitude levels right from -8 to +10 are shown in this graph plot here. So this is the first sample having the amplitude 3.2, second sample -2, third sample 4.5, fourth sample -6.7, fifth sample 5.6, the sixth sample 2.3, seventh 3.4, eighth we have 9 amplitude, the ninth amplitude is the -6, and the 10th one, here we have -1.8. There it is another way also with which we can have the generation of discrete time random process. So it is with the function randn, where we can specify 1 comma 100, or this time we can also limit it to the length 50 here. So any of the way we can go for the use. The first way I just comment it out. For both of them we can evaluate the performance of the maximum entropy method thereupon. So now this way, if we make the use of this particular function, let us save it, and you can check here that there were only the 10 samples in the earlier case. Now if we execute, we want the dimensions with the value 50 thereupon, and also get them plotted with the help of the function stem. So executing this particular program, you can see here into the workspace we have the variable with the dimension 1 by 50 of the type double here, whereas we have been provided the plot where we have the first sample value with the amplitude 0.6737, the second one minus 0.6691. This way the total 50 samples, as you can see onto the horizontal axis, have been plotted with the regular interval of 5 samples here. Now the amplitude levels have been shown ranging from -3 to +3 here. So I close this display here. So both ways we can have generation of the discrete time random process for which the spectrum estimation is to be carried out here. Hence the very important, the second module we start over here, that it is spectral estimation. So for spectral estimation we have to carry out a call to the function that we have developed, that has been named max underscore entropy, which requires the two input arguments x comma p here, and giving us output of the spectral estimate in terms of the variable capital P small x here. So we call upon this function, the output to be holded by capital P small x here, the function name following the equal to sign here, max underscore entropy. And the very important is to give it the input discrete time random process small x, comma, let us say the value of p is equal to 4 here. So we end this line with the help of semicolon, and we save the changes. Let us execute this program, and we expect into the workspace another variable with the name px here. So upon executing, you can see into the workspace along with the earlier variable x of the dimension 1 by 50 of the type double, we have px to hold the spectral estimation information, that is of the order 1024 by 1, and it is again of the type double here. So the spectral estimation is successful here. Now it's time to have the visualization into the graphical mode. Hence we take the last module of this MATLAB script, the main function here, that it is plotting the spectral estimate or spectrum estimate here, and spectrum estimation by using maximum entropy method. Now by the use of this maximum entropy method, as we have the variable px to hold this information, by the various ways we can have the plot shown here. First of all, taking a separate window with the keyword figure, then using the function plot, where directly we can put capital P small x as the input parameter there. So for px to be the input argument given here, if we run this particular program, we get the two windows. The first window is the current discrete time random sequence, and the second window is the spectral estimate that has been plotted. So I maximize the first window. Here it is the input discrete time random process that I close, and here I maximize the second window, that it is the plot of the spectral estimate. So this is again for 1024 samples. So into the frequency domain, this plot has been the various values. The trained into the variation of the values, you can notice as we go on the various values measured in this particular plot here. Now I close upon this. The another also is the way whereupon we can have the plot of the frequency values onto the in terms of hertz onto the horizontal axis thereupon. So this we have tested for the random function that has been generated by this particular MATLAB syntax here. Instead, if we comment it out and change the input to the earlier that we had only the 10 samples, let us check what is the performance of the maximum entropy method. Just saving the changes and executing this particular program. So upon execution, you can see here the figure 1 that I maximize having the 10 samples. Here it is the first sample, second, third, fourth, fifth sample, sixth one, seventh, eighth, ninth, and the last 10th sample. So for these many values, we have the spectral estimate that has been plotted in this particular graph here. So again here up to 1024 samples here. So it should be 1024 at last. Yes, having the amplitude 5.671. So this is of course in terms of the decibels, as this particular programming we have done for the maximum entropy method here. So here we conclude our topic that it is the MATLAB program maximum entropy method here, and by the next lecture we can have a practice of simple problem based on to the same method. Hence the topic name in continuation to this chapter, it will be problem maximum entropy method, after which we can address to another prominent approach to the power spectrum estimation, that is by the parametric type of the methods. Thank you.